Hey, welcome to the AgileTD after work. So today you see I'm growing my beard because the Agile testing day is not far away and I need a costume. So let's see how it goes. Today we talk about clean test code and we have Andreas Jürgensen there, and I'm very happy to count with him so that we can chat a little bit first and then he can make his presentation. So Andreas, welcome. How are you?
Hi, thank you. I'm good. How are
You're
you?
good. That's very. Yeah, I'm very fine. So, tell us, who are you?
Yeah, I'm Andreas. I'm a software developer and also a coach and consultant. I founded my own company, my own consulting company. It's called 14 IT. Yeah, and I'm a specialist in the topic of testing. I mainly focus on this. Yes.
Okay, that's very nice. So, looking forward to your talk. So, I will let you alone here. I'm going to be in the back so that the people can see your presentation. So we changed. So we you should start your presentation. Okay, great. So I will go
Perfect.
out. Okay, so I'm on the back side. So enjoy your time.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Yeah, as mentioned before, I would like to talk about clean test code. I would talk a lot about code, so I don't really have a presentation. We will start in the code, and first I will show you this Git repository. It's hosted on GitHub. It's public, so you can also access it. And so from now on, there is not much in there. We see some dirty and failing tests. We will clean this up during the next 20 minutes. But first, I want to talk about yeah, what means clean test code. Some introduction. I wrote something about it here, but I will just explain it to you. So the name clean code comes from this book from Robert C. Martin, and but it mainly focuses on the production code. So yeah, how the production code can be maintainable, and readable, and extendable, but not so much about the test code. So I thought, how can we use these uh, attributes of code to um, make our test code also clean? I think it's more important in the last years because of TDD. There are more tests that we can talk about and that we can clean up. And also with this thing called CI/CD, because when you automate a lot of things in your production pipeline or in your deployment pipeline, you need some tests that are very valuable, and yeah, they need to be high quality so you can rely on them and don't have to test manually. Yeah, today I will show you some things you can do to make your tests clean, but there are a lot of more things you can focus on. So this list I will show you today is not complete. There are many more things, and also there are some of them are quite general. Some others are very specific. So you have to adjust them for your problems. But I think I can give you some ideas. The examples today are written in Java, so I'm using JUnit and also AssertJ because I really like this assertion library. And yeah, I think that's it. If you have any questions, I don't know how this is handled here normally, but from my opinion, you can just talk and interrupt me and just ask your questions. I think that's the easiest. Okay, so I'll jump right into the code. We start with a test class, of course. We have this account, the thing we want to test, and there are 3 tests here. So I can run these tests, and as expected, one test is failing, but we will have a look at this moment. First, we'll talk about what this account can do. So we have a method, as we can see here in the test. We can deposit something. I think it's money, but we're just using here some integers. So we can deposit maybe 100, and we can ask for balance. That should be 100 too. We can withdraw some money, so reduce the balance, I think. And down here in test number 3, we can see we can also transfer some money to another account. So that's basically it. And yeah, we can test these, the functionality, but these tests are not very good. They do something. So here's an error. We have a failure in the test, and we did something wrong. Expected true, but was false. So yeah, that's not very helpful, but we can see this assertion is false. This true should be, so this thing in the braces should be true, but is false. So this message of the exception that has been thrown does not contain this word funds. So first, let's fix this to see that the code actually, so that we can see the test actually works. So we have here this in this withdraw function, we throw a new illegal argument exception. That's fine, and we don't provide a message. So we write something like insufficient. It doesn't matter. We provide some information, and we can run the tests again, and they are green. So these tests actually test something, but when we turn this back again, we get this error message. That's not very helpful. So that's the reason why I like to use AssertJ. We can write this assertion the same way, but we can write assert that and import it. We always take this one, assertions for class types. And then we can put in there get message, and then outside of this braces, we write contains. You can write exactly the same, so it's on the same length, but we have this and assert that and contains funds. So we have a little bit different syntax, and if we run this test now, it says expecting empty string to contain funds. So this is way more clear and expresses what really went wrong. So that's the reason why I'd like to use AssertJ. So these two test exactly the same. We can delete it and fix our code again. So that's the first thing I'd like to talk about, is to use AssertJ to get some very informative error messages. Okay. The second thing, when we look at this test, we see, okay, there's a private constant of the type account, and we also have this name of the test class that contains account. So maybe it tests account, but account is an interface. So we don't really test the interface because an interface has no implementation, has no logic. We can't really test it. So we should rename this to account impl test because we're testing the implementation. And then another thing I'd like to do is to find this object that we want to test. It's called the system under test or SUT. And name it like this. So we take this one and name it SUT. So when we have a look at the test, doesn't matter what test it is, we always, when I write tests, I always name this thing we want to test, the system under test. I name it SUT. So it's very clear. And there's no confusion in this test number 3 here. There's no confusion between another account and the system we want to test. So this is another account. It's the same type, but it's also used to test this object. Okay. Wait a moment. I wanted to make small commits, but that's fine. I do these two things in one commit, and so that I start to commit after everything I want to talk about. So we used AssertJ. And we also named the system test. Because the reason why I want to do this in small commits is that you can later have a look at the Git repository and can follow these steps again. And redo these steps if you want to. The next thing I want to do is make more clear what these tests do. So beginning with test number 3, because it's very easy, we can split every test in 3 parts. I think most of you heard of the terms given, when, then. So we have these 3 parts. The first one, the given part, sets up the test. So in this example, we create another account that we need to test something. We don't really know what we test, but we'll have a look at this later. So we start with the given part. And I like to really write this comment, although I know this pattern, but if other people have a look at my code, they might get interested in this pattern. The second part, we have the when part. The when part is the part where we actually perform our test. So maybe we don't have a given part. In this case, we have, but maybe sometimes the given part is empty. Then we will start with the when part. But here we have this set up, and then we need to look closer if this line is really also the given part, or is it the next part? Is it the actual performance of the test? And I think it's part of the test setup, because we expect later that we have in the one account 150 and in the other 50. So I think the transfer is the thing we want to test in this case. And we need to have 200 in the one account. So I think this is part of the setup. And then we start here with the when part. And then we have the last part, That's always where our assertions come. We have the then. So we can read in this given situation that we create here in the first part. When we do this, then we expect this. And this is the way I'd like to have my tests looking. So I clearly see these three parts, and everybody else who looks at my tests sees it too. Yes. So in test number 2, we have a different situation. We want to catch an exception. So we assert that when we only have 50 in our account and we want to withdraw 100, that there is an exception thrown. And yeah, so we have the given part in the beginning. And after that, we have the when part. And then we have, I think, here, or maybe here, because this is also kind of assertion that we don't reach this point. We have the then part. But this is not nice because we can't really separate it like we could down here. So I want to show you another thing. We can write it like this. A variable and name it exception. And then we can use catch throwable. We put a lambda function in here, and we put in here is the when part. And after this, we can run when this is executed. No exception is thrown, but the exception this might throw is saved in this variable. So now we can put some assertions here, and that we can use AssertJ again. So exception, assert that typo there, exception is not null because catch throwable returns null after when no exception is thrown. And then this is the first one, so it's the equivalent of this, that at least one exception is thrown. And after that, we can assert that exception get message contains and then we don't need this anymore. And we have the then part here. And here in test number 1, we see another thing. When we split it like this, we have the given part, but it's empty. I think we don't need something to set up our test. We have a when part, so we deposit 100. And then we expect our test, our account to have a balance of 100. We can rewrite this later, but for now it's fine. And then we do something else. We do something again. So we have another when part. And we have another then part. So we withdraw 50 and expect it to be the balance to be 50. So we don't have this 3 parts. We have 5 here. The given part is empty, so actually we have 4 parts. but not 3. And that's a problem because we test too many things in this test. We test first that the deposit function works fine, and then that the withdraw function works fine. But what I'd like to do is copy this test. So it's not 1, it's 1a. Doesn't matter at the moment. And then in this first test, we can delete everything after the then part. And here, so this test ends directly after this then part. And in this test, we delete at least this one. And then can have a look, are these two actually the things we do at the when part? If yes, we could make it like this. So we have only one when part, but I think that's not the case here. I think this one is part of the given, is the given part. So we need to test the withdraw function. We need to have an account with something in it. Yeah, so that's how you can split the tests so that every test only tests one thing. There are some rules about this. Some of them are you only have one exit point in this test, so the balance is an exit point. We had it twice here. Another rule could be to only have one assertion per test. And yeah. But the main thing is, I think, that you only test one thing, and one thing can be flexible. It can be this, it can be something other. Okay. The next thing I'd like to do is to talk about the test methods. I wanted to commit. Sorry. So what did we do? I think I'm remembered on time, so we can commit given then. Okay. The next thing I want to talk about is the test methods, test method names, and because these tests, test 1, test 1a, test 2, and test 3 don't really help. When I have a look at it, I don't know anything. So I'd like to rename this method to something it really does. There are a lot of patterns to name this test. Some of them are, we have also these, you describe the 3 parts, the given, the when, and the then part in the test name. I think that depends on the level of tests. So when you're writing very small unit tests, that's fine to do it like this. But I like to write them kind of like a specification. So a little bit like user stories or acceptance criteria, things your software really does. So in this case, you can name it like something depositing increases the balance or something like this. And here, that depends really on the domain you're talking about. And I think you can, if you're unsure about this, you can talk about it with your domain experts. I think that's a very good thing to do. It's enough in the behavior-driven development area and not really test driven or testing, but it's very good because these tests are a little bit more robust or stable against refactorings. And here I can write withdrawing decreases. The balance. And so on and so on. So withdrawing is not possible. Insufficient funds, and I don't know, it's possible to transfer one account to okay. So now when I want to change something and I get a request to change something in the withdrawing function, I can have a look at these two tests and I really see where to change the test so that I can change the code later. So we want to use domain specific names. Okay. And okay, yeah, here we can also use AssertJ, but I think I'll skip this. Just want to check what I wanted to show you. I think we will do this. So we assert that balance is equal to 100. Replace it. I think this fail message balance not correct. We don't really need it. What we can do with AssertJ is we can add a description. So we can write this as, and we can name it balance. Or maybe we can also reuse this whole thing, balance not correct, and replace this. So we run this test here, and we add an error, maybe something like this, whatever that could happen in production, but the test fails. So we can see balance not correct. Okay, otherwise the test wouldn't fail. Expecting 110 to be equal to 100. That's very good. It's better as it was before, because this test should fail too. We only have this information balance not correct after withdraw, but it's not perfect. And another thing we can add to make it more clear is custom assertions from AssertJ. So we add another class, and that's account assert. And this class extends abstract assert. And we need to give it two parameters. The first one, I think, is count assert itself, and the second one is the thing we want to assert, the count. We create this constructor, that's fine. And here we can first add the factory method. So it's count assert return type, and we name it assert that. And there we put an account, and that's full. And return new account assert as actual and so. So now we can use. Oh, we can't use it here, but what we want to do is account assert that. Oh, we didn't. It has to be static. Factory method, and there we can put the system under test and write has balance 100. We have to implement this method. What we can do is this is the expected balance. And we can write this. We can write some checks in here. So we can write. We can use something assert that itself. We need the static import. We can do it another way. If expected balance is not equal to actual dot balance, we want to fail with message. And we write expected account to have balance. I think it's like this part. And we can write expected balance and actual balance. And if we run this test again, we have a very, very good error message. Yeah. Okay. So we don't need this anymore, and we can also use it here. Our account has balance 50. We don't need this anymore. And if we fix our code and rerun the tests, all tests are green. And that's the thing, the last thing I like to commit. This, yeah, and that's called custom asserts. Okay, and I think I can push now. So we have it here in the Git repository, and see on the main branch. Yeah. You can see this test code here, and you can walk through the commits and check all the different steps we did in the last 30 minutes. So perfect. Thank you for listening. Okay.
Thanks so much, Andreas. It was very nice.
I hope
It was
you.
very nice. So there is a question there. I put it on the screen. It's possible for us to watch this video again. Yes. I mean, you can have a look on LinkedIn, because it's going to be on LinkedIn all the time, so that you can start looking at there. But if you go to the AgileTD YouTube channel, so you are going to see all the videos that we have, not only this one. So you are welcome to have that. Okay. So if anyone else have a question about that, please write the question. If not, we are going to close the session here.
Put the link of the Git repository in the chat.
Yes, you can put it in the chat if you want. The best is directly in LinkedIn.
Okay.
So you can put it directly in LinkedIn so that people can see that. So, Andreas, thanks so much. It was very nice. Okay. So, enjoy your day, and we see you later at the Agile Testing Days. Thanks so much for being there.
Thank you very much. Have a good day.